Hello, welcome to See Your Insights. My name is Vitali. With me is CJ Hamilton. First of all, welcome, CJ.
Thank you, Vitaly. Good to be here.
So we already began talking about recruitment, and you run a small recruitment company, which, well, it's been around for a long time. You've been in that business for a very long time. How do CEOs, do you think, should be responding to this new demand for AI capable, AI mature employees, but when they're recruiting? And then how do they also, well, let's start from then. How do they attract those employees? Because a lot of the companies are not Amazon, they're not Google, and yet they want to still attract this kind of people. What do you recommend?
Yeah. So I think, there's definitely a big trend, of course, now with what you're saying, with having great AI, sort of AI ready people. I think the big sort of important message is that you have to have people that can learn quickly, because we know that that's going to change a lot. And what's important now is not going to be as important. Is going to be important. Something else is going to be important in 6 months. So I think the sort of ability to assess learning ability is really, really important, and that's the sort of most important skill I think that we see that our clients are looking for at the moment.
Okay, so it's a learning capability, right? It's not, it's adaptability more than
Definitely, yeah.
necessarily like obviously AI is still new. I mean, we have thrown this word AI, and it's only been around for a year, literally. I mean, in a big way. So nobody's going to be a super expert. And those who are super experts, they're probably going to either start their own company or go and work for some on a big ticket item, right? I know some chief
That's true.
AI.
There's a lot of talk now, of course, that you sort of, rather than attracting sort of the top talent, you need to like attract the super top talent. And a lot of customers that we have talk about this. And of course, you have to realize where you are kind of in that space, and you can't necessarily attract the sort of super best, but you can attract somebody who has sort of potential to grow a lot. And I think that's always more a better choice. So it shows. Sorry, I had to close the door every time.
No problems, no problems. Well, this is live TV, ladies and gentlemen, so no problems. We can do anything here, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, and how do we do that? Okay, let's just go through that. How do we attract those people who have that capability, may want to, but, but now also shopping around between the companies?
Yeah, so I think it's a long question, a long answer, or sort of a lot of answers to that same question. I think it depends who you are, but of course, you, as with all, when you're selling something, you really have to sort of think through, what are you selling? I mean, why should you work at your particular company? What are these sort of what's the story here? What's the vision? Where are you going? I think people always want to they want to come along, and they want to believe believe the story where you're going, rather than what you sort of where you are at the moment. So I think that's a really important part of all kind of recruitment, selling the story of the company, the trip you're on, rather than sort of exactly what the job is about.
So you're saying kind of like you have to have a vision enough, enticing enough to attract
Definitely,
people,
yeah.
right? Because if you just have a very boring company, I guess young people want to work for something higher than just a paycheck,
Yeah,
right?
but I mean, I sort of, if you look at from a recruitment point of view, the way we're addressing this problem at the moment, that of course recruitment is something which is changing a lot. I mean, enormous changes are coming in our industry. I think we try and sort of, the pitch that we try and do is to say, let's make sure that at least at this company you will learn more than you will at the other companies, which are sort of offering something similar. I think that's quite often a good pitch in this very fast changing environment, where
Okay.
things are going to jobs are going to disappear, roles are going to disappear. But at least if you are somewhere where you can evolve and learn during the way, I think that's going to be a very attractive position. At least that's what we think.
I like it. I think you said the magic words. Learn and evolve. Particularly I like the evolving because you can learn, but I can learn somewhat, but you can't evolve, but you don't evolve not just as a technically, but as a person, as a professional, like you go into from here to here, a whole new level in your profession, right? If you can offer them something like that. So what does that mean for a company? What does that mean for CEOs? What kind of environment do they have to create? What kind of culture do they have to build?
Well, I think the way I sort of see, at least I see the successful tech organizations that we serve, I think they are the ones that really, rather than recruiting they're looking for a particular skill, as in we want to recruit this particular kind of AI developer or this particular kind of software developer. They sort of rather um, rather recruit sort of for a bit, I mean, for ability to learn and also um, cultural fit in the sense that they want to, you want to be part of that culture that's going to grow. So I think that it's for a CEO or a leader in this situation, it's about creating an environment that enforces those positive things. But sometimes there's a lot of, I think, also quite often, apart from sort of creating culture, which there are lots to talk about, quite often I think it's also they kind of sometimes tend to forget the sort of organizational part of this, as in how do you organize for innovation? How do you organize for growth? And that's sort of a, I mean, lots of answers to that, but I think if you don't do both, both the cultural side and also the sort of organizational side, you tend to
Right.
sort of lose out, I think, a little bit. And I mean, of course, there are lots of answers that you can do, sort of, agile methodologies and so and so and so on. It's always evolving, but you have to sort of really make sure that there's that's a part of your the way you organize your company.
So, first of all, thank you. So, so it's not just the learning; it's the organization of the whole company dynamics. How do we organize today so there is room for that advancement, for that
Yeah,
evolution? Now, you're a CEO of your company. You have a company, and you have the probably the similar issue that everybody else. How do I find people? I don't need many people. I need the people that are actually going to get me to a whole new level. And you're in the recruitment area, which is changing due to AI now. Tools. I mean, I've heard companies that say, "Listen, I don't need people. I need very smart
yeah,
AI
exactly.
agents,"
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and that's
Um,
exactly yeah.
yeah, I mean, they're
But I
going
mean,
to be
you
doing
still need people who sort of, I think at least for us, it's you need people who could handle those agents and build those agents and develop
okay.
them. I mean, it's not like it's going to happen by itself.
Right, but it's a very different game now. Now we're having a
Completely different. Yeah,
now we need highly skilled, highly creative individuals that can manage an agent, and this is now almost like a well, an agent babysitter. It's not right. It's not an agent babysitter, but the agent does a lot of legwork. But we need someone who is creative and then more
yeah,
mature
yeah.
to
And I
actually
think
direct
also,
it. Right?
I think also, I think that's my feeling at the moment. That uh, I think you still have to have those intercommunicational skills. I mean, those
Right.
sort of personality. And like we're sitting here, we're talking to each other. We had a quick talk, and then it feels like we know each other a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a skill that's still going to be very important. And I also find that I think what AI is doing, I mean, is that it's people who have the sort of personal skills, but also perhaps also the ability to that know something about their area. I mean, if you look at sort of implementation of sort of ERP systems, I had a pod yesterday with a guy who's really, I mean, he's a CIO now. He's also quite techy, but of course now suddenly he can do a lot more techy stuff, and then he can kind of leverage his sort of CIO skills or in case also CFO skills in his case to sort of then take off. So it's if you see what I mean, it's if you're in the recruitment space, you
Uh-huh.
need to kind of know people, you need to know this, but you also have to be able to create and handle the technical stuff that helps you sort of do all the stuff that you before lead maybe younger recruiters or other people to do the legwork, and that's kind of new.
Interesting. So you kind of have to be a little bit more broader in your skill set, right? You
Yeah,
have to be more
I
strategic and
mean, to a certain
tactical.
extent, I feel that the sort of AI, some of some the AI stuff is becoming a lot easier to use in the sense that it's becoming just so much has happened over the last 6 months. Suddenly now you can build agents pretty easily. I mean, you can do that. I mean, almost everybody could, not everybody, but a lot of
But
people can
a
do
lot of,
that.
yeah.
And it's you can sort of you just spend a few hours, a few days on it. Suddenly oh, this is really cool. And also the tools that you can use suddenly they're amazing. So it's I mean, and then that's sort of maybe not a competitive edge. Of course, everybody can use them. You have to then have something else that you use the tools, but then you have to have something, some domain knowledge or some ability or sort of that sort of makes you a little bit more efficient than others or better than others or being able to provide more value. So I think that kind of technical baseline and then having some sort of pinnacle of niche knowledge that's going to be really important going forward.
That makes total sense. Makes total sense. Um, CJ, thank you so much. I really appreciate you sharing the knowledge. You spent many years, and this is yet another iteration of your company. You told me
Yeah.
you went through up and down and across.
No,
I
and
re
it's funny. I mean, from our perspective, that when sort of you said I think we're actually one of the biggest niche companies in our niche. I mean, so there aren't that many. I mean, we're about half as much people that we are than we were. 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But we're doing, I mean, not quite the same, but not far from what we did 2 years ago. So it's a big. That means I mean, of course, it's to do with the market as well, but it's also means that we've done a lot of improvements in the small details that make a big difference.
Yeah, yeah, you've leveraged technology really well. Thank you. And where can I find you if they want to talk to you?
Yeah, so check out our website or check out me on LinkedIn. So it's ants.se or Carlia and Hamilton at Ants, and I'm quite active on LinkedIn and try and share our knowledge as much as possible. So that'll be just get in touch.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thanks for being on the show.
No problem.